Welcome to Education Today. I'm Hannah Blatt.
And I'm Hannah Wallach of West Shamokin High School in the Armstrong School District. Tonight we are bringing in someone to talk about a subject that sometimes is not thought of as much. Truancy can lead to students who later find themselves in a court system, and therefore it is an important subject to talk about. Tonight we are bringing in a local professional in the field to discuss the importance of this topic, some research and information relating to it. Welcome to Education Today.
Thank you.
Can you introduce yourself and tell us a bit about what you do?
My name is Tracy Virai, and currently I'm employed as an adult probation officer for the County of Butler.
Are there any previous jobs or experiences that you have had that have helped your decision in your current career path?
Prior to being in adult probation, I spent 12.5 years as a juvenile probation officer, and throughout that time period, I had many different opportunities to do some research and participate in things such as the truancy program. People ask, why are probation and parole officers involved in truancy? It's a dependency type of behavior. My research showed that truancy was the #1 indicator of future delinquency. Therefore, as a juvenile probation officer, I was able to establish a program to help kids who were struggling with their school attendance.
What exactly is truancy?
The short answer for what is truancy is basically failure to attend school. Every school throughout the country has a set regulation of compulsory education, or time that they are supposed to be in school. And when you don't go when you're supposed to, then you can be labeled a truant.
Where are the truancy meetings held?
The ones that we do in Butler County are held at what we call our training center. The court system has allowed us to open up our office space where we welcome the families in. Some other counties have actually adopted our truancy program, so it's held in some other areas as well, but we hold ours at the Butler County Training Center.
Who attends these meetings?
Once the juvenile is declared to be truant by the local district justice, the parent and the child are required to come together. Sometimes we have one parent and a child, sometimes both parents will attend, sometimes they'll ask to bring siblings as well, so it can be a family-oriented scenario.
Can you tell us about the TIP and how it came into be?
We call that the TIP program, the Truancy Intervention Program. When I was a master's student working on my master's degree in 2006, I was approached by our district attorney, our assistant district attorney, Russ Carl, about helping him with truancy. I went to the master's program with 2 coworkers, and my one coworker, Susan Stover, her and I decided to take the truancy program on as what we called our practicum project. We were required for our college degree to create a program. So because everybody at that time was struggling with children not attending school regularly, we decided to create an education program to help.
Was it difficult to start?
Somewhat. We had to gather a lot of support. I was very lucky to have a wonderful partner in Sue. Also, my chief, Doug Ritson, was excellent. Our president judge, Tom Durr, he's excellent in juvenile court systems, and all the local district judges. People were so desperate for help with truancy, they were really open to letting us explore what we could do, but there was still some obstacles and barriers along the way. Working within the government and the correction system, it's not an easy thing to start, but we were so lucky to have a lot of support and backing from the court.
What type of information does it provide?
We like to provide an overall education about what is truancy, why is attending school important, what are the legal consequences of not attending school, what are the personal consequences, financial consequences. We talk about how the court can get involved if you eventually don't go to school. Some of the interesting information we provide would be something like half of the prison population is made up of people who dropped out of school, high school dropouts, truant youth. Half of the heads of household on welfare are kids who turn into adults but never finished high school. So we provide a lot of factual information so that the children and their families have a realistic view of how important school really is.
Mm-hmm. What reactions do you get from the kids and parents?
You know what, we see reactions all over. Sometimes kids and parents will come resistant to intervention. They don't want involved. Other times you have parents and grandparents who are screaming for help. But I'm very proud to say by the time they leave class, Most of the parents and the families are extremely grateful. They feel well informed. I know Susan and I, when we go out for lunch or we're out in the community, people will come up to us and say, oh my goodness, the truancy class was so good. We didn't know half of that stuff. Thank you. And we've had a lot of success with the children coming through that class, not ending up involved with children and youth services or juvenile probation. Very, very small number.
What is the key to a successful program?
I think the key to a successful program includes always maintaining the integrity of the program, always looking at how you can change and evolve to make your program better. We've been doing this program since 2006, and we've changed it along the ways when we needed to. One thing we weren't prepared for was the really young students. We thought that we'd be dealing with 7th and 8th, 9th graders. We were very shocked to find out that there was a ginormous need for truancy intervention at the elementary school level. So we had to fine-tune things then. So I believe maintaining the integrity of the program and always looking to improve are important keys to success.
What advice would you give someone that wants to make a program on their own?
I would first of all advise to get a lot of support from the people that can help you make your program possible. It's one thing to have goals, but it's another thing to have realistic goals and being able to adjust and overcome the barriers. And I would just say be prepared and persistent, and you can pretty much be successful in anything you try.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back with Armstrong School District's Education Today.
All your professors, all of them, they know that all it takes is one dreamer with passion, one person, and they hope in each of you that you might be that one who makes a longer lasting light bulb, who writes music for the ages, who reaches into the mind and discovers a new star, and who can change the world of a 5th grader. We're gathered here to hope in you.
Vince Mercuri, Executive Director of The Open Door. Worried, scared, confused, not sure where to turn for help? The Open Door, a behavioral health organization, has a full range of addiction counseling services and mental health crisis intervention services which may be able to help. Call 724-465-2605 or 1-877-333-2470. The Open Door, steps towards hope, courage, and recovery. Brought to you by the Armstrong, Indiana Drug-Free Communities Coalition.
The brain is a remarkable organ. It's almost infinite in its capacity. Its ability to reach its full potential is limited by only one thing: the heart. For if the heart isn't fully engaged in what you're doing, if you have no drive, no passion, the brain will simply go through the motions. Find your success at Indiana University of Pennsylvania.
We're back with Armstrong School District's Education Today. Tonight, we are talking with a local probation officer and parole officer about truancy and the consequences it can have. Previously, you worked with juveniles. What is the difference between what you do now and what you did previously?
One of the biggest differences is that in juvenile court, I really appreciated the opportunities to be more proactive rather than reactive. The adult correctional system is more of a reactive system, and I thought that juvenile court services was a little more on the proactive side, but overall, there's the same basic concepts.
What are some of the responsibilities that come along with the position you are in now?
The position I have now is called a specialized position because I focus on a forensic population. So my entire caseload is made up of a specific type of people, sex offenders, and so that's what I do every day, all day long. My job duties are very specific to helping supervise and keeping the community safe in that respect.
Is there any other information you'd like to share regarding your job or information that you'd feel people should know and understand?
That's an excellent question. I feel that there's always opportunities to educate the public on topics such as truancy and sex offenders and other court-related issues. Over the 16 plus years I've worked in the juvenile justice and correction system, I feel that there's an overall lack of public awareness on many things, and I try to take advantage anytime I can to educate people on truancy or sex offender registration. There's a few topics that I'm pretty passionate about that I try to share when I can.
Besides the truancy class, what other qualifications do you have?
I am a certified firearms instructor. I do a lot of firearms trainings through my employment and other employment opportunities that I have. I am the president of Troop D Camp Cadet, which I love because that gives me an opportunity to still work with juveniles. And I still teach an education group on Tuesday nights with juveniles who have forensic issues. And I love that because it gives me an opportunity to actually see people can change for the positive. Working in the criminal justice system for years, a lot of times the cards are stacked against us and we don't get a lot of opportunities to see a lot of positive. So those few things that I do, they're very positive and makes the job rewarding and keeps you going when the days are tough.
Are you currently working on any other degrees?
Yes, actually I am currently working on my PhD. I've completed all my coursework. I've completed a full draft of my dissertation, and I'm just waiting for some feedback for a few revisions, but I should be complete in a few months.
What is your goal or plan in how you plan to use your doctoral degree?
I would love to teach at a university level. That's my ultimate goal at some point, is to be a teacher at the college level.
Can you tell us about some of the research studies that you've been involved in?
I have been involved in several research studies. The most recent one, obviously, for my doctoral dissertation, that I did a qualitative study on sex offender registration and police officers. But I've done a few studies. The side studies that I've done are education-based. There's a small group of people that I'm involved with through my school, and we did a nice study on high school dropouts and attentional bias, and we've also just started one on retention. Kids who were recommended for retention or being held back, who were not held back, and how many of them dropped out of high school. So we do a lot of research studies in this little group about high school dropouts and truancy.
If you could change anything about your career choice, what would it be?
I probably wouldn't change anything about my career choice. If I could change anything, I probably wouldn't have waited as long to go back to school. But I'm very pleased with my career choice and where it's going.
Do you enjoy the activities you take part in?
Absolutely. I love having the Camp Cadet activities. I love the firearms stuff that I can do. It gives me a little mental break from school and work, but I enjoy spending time with my family as well.
Is there anything else you would like to add to the benefit of our viewers?
I would just like to say thank you so much for having me, and that any opportunity that you have to spread awareness on topics like truancy are excellent, and I appreciate your time and your program.
Well, that's our show for today. I'd like to thank Mrs. Tracy Vurai for taking the time out of her busy schedule to join us. Also, thanks go out to the TV production students of West High School, led by their teacher, Mrs. Karen Coulter. They were our film crew today.
Please join us next week for another look at the Armstrong School District. DVD copies of this and all Education Today programs can be required by contacting Chris Garantano, multimedia technician at Armstrong High School. Visit our website for updated information about this district, and have a great week.